Hi everyone! This is just a short video to demonstrate our new Play Against the Solution feature in GTO+. However, I will also give a quick overview of the new update for FlopZilla, which is called FlopzillaPro. Here in the background we currently have GTO+ in autoplay modes. And here we have a shrunk down version of FlopzillaPro. And right at this moment FlopzillaPro is connected to GTO+. So whenever new ranges are reached in GTO+, FlopzillaPro will automatically be updated. FlopzillaPro is currently in beta, and given that we will need some time to make instructional videos, for the moment we just offer this video and the instructions on the website. For the FlopzillaPro users who may not yet be familiar with GTO+, at the start of this video I will just briefly go over what GTO+ is and how to set up a tree. This shouldn't take too long though. Now GTO+ is what is referred to as a GTO solver. If you give it ranges, a flop and a decision tree, it will figure out the absolute optimal way to play versus an opponent who also plays perfectly himself. So it will basically figure out the absolute best way to play versus your opponent, while also preventing any leaks in your game. I will just stop the autoplay feature now. And let's start a new file. To set up your tree in GTO+, simply enter a range for player 1. I will just enter some random range. Enter a range for player 2. Now player 1 is out of position and player 2 is always in position. Now let's enter a board. And let's build our tree. Here, enter the starting pot and effective stacks. And that information alone is already enough to build your first decision tree. In the Basic tab, everything has already been filled out for you. For more advanced features, such as multiple bed sizes and custom bed sizes, you can use the Advanced Tree Builder tab or the Tree Editor. However, for the purposes of this video, I will just use the Basic Tree Builder. If you want to know more, then just go to the website for GTO+ and we have some videos for you there. I will click on Build Tree to build our tree. And that's it, our tree has now been built. And to get a quick overview of our tree, just click here. Now the next step will be to run the GTO solver to let it figure out the optimal play. For that, go to Run Solver. And set a target DEV. This value is a measure for how accurate we want our solution to be. For any practical purposes, a target DEV of 0.5% should be sufficient. And for storage, if you're looking to play versus the solution, extensive storage is probably best. This will mean that no data will need to be recomputed on the fly, which will make everything run a bit faster. The disadvantage here is that the save file will be a bit larger. Now run the solver, and this should typically take a few minutes. I will just skip ahead in the video. Okay, now this is a pretty fast computer and the solve here took a bit over 60 seconds. We can now use the Tree Navigator to look at the solution. Or click here for an overall view of the solution. So, let's now have a look at the Play Against the Solution feature. For that, click the icon here. And to play versus the solution, just select if you either want to be in position or out of position. And you can now sit down. Now if at any time you don't know what to do, press Ctrl for a quick view of the recommended strategy. And our available actions at the bottom will now change. The green actions are the recommended ones, the red ones shouldn't be taken. It's possible for multiple actions to be green. In this case, a weighted strategy is recommended. The weights are shown in the lower right of each action. That is the mix that should be used. So here we see that we should call 86.55% of the time, and we should raise 13.45% of the time. In the lower left of each action, its EV is displayed. If there's a mix of two actions, then ideally the expected values for the actions will be exactly the same, and the solution will be indifferent between which action you choose. In reality, however, you will often see a small difference. You can, however, ignore this. This difference is just because we didn't solve to a DEV of 0% earlier. The mix that is given in the lower right is what you always need to look at. It's also possible to always display the solution with the toggle here. And now you don't need to press Ctrl to view the solution. Or this button can also be set in the middle for training mode. Now, whenever you make a mistake, the program will pause, show the solution, and allow you to choose again. For example, if I select fold here, then the program will let us know that this is not the best choice and will allow us to choose again. This toggle can be used to display the equity of your hand versus villain's range. And here you can set a higher animation speed. To see how you are doing compared to the solution, turn on Show Performance. And apparently we're doing pretty poorly. We've lost almost $500 at the moment. To see a graph of this, click on the Performance field. And here the red line shows the long-term expected profit for the GTO strategy. Now it's possible to beat the solution in the short term by running hot, but in the long run, the GTO solution should always be better. If you want the solution to play itself, then press Ctrl and right-click your own field. To export to FlopzillaPro, simply open FlopzillaPro. And click on Export to FlopzillaPro. And you can also do a live export to FlopzillaPro. In this case, any situation while playing will immediately be sent to FlopzillaPro. I will just let GTO Plus autoplay itself at high speed. And you'll see that FlopzillaPro updates almost instantly whenever a change is made. So for example, if you want to see equity graphs of the current ranges while playing, then just click on the field here. As you will notice, GTO Plus is autoplaying itself in quite an impressive speed, but FlopzillaPro has no problem keeping up. The equity calculations are so fast that they are basically instantly updated whenever a change is made. And let's now take a closer look at FlopzillaPro. First, I will just set it at its full size, given that it was minimized until this point. I will just turn all Broadway cards on and off. Or I will turn the filters on and off. As you will notice, the equity calcs react nearly instantly whenever a change is made. We have taken great care to make the calculations as fast as possible, and we have even succeeded in setting up three-way calcs for when a flop is entered. So if I enter a third range here, and I will just enter some range. In this case, the equity calculations for the three players will be performed in roughly 1 second. So there's a progress bar drawn here. And if I select, for example, some dead cards, then it will take a fraction of a second for the data to update. Now these are the exact equities for all of the hands. No approximation is used. Several output modes are available. We also have an equity matrix and hotness and even groups of different colors. I'll just switch the group mode and I will use a green filter for the draws and a red filter for the combo draws. Now FlopzillaPro offers a lot more additional new features. For example, if we go to preflop, when you mouse over a stat such as flush, there's now a very detailed breakdown. And also, if you click on the icon here in preflop mode, a flop breakdown tool is offered. This tool shows how many flops of each type exist. Here you can see, for example, that there's 18,304 unpaired flops. And this breaks down into 6,864 rainbow flops, 10,296 two-flush flops, and 1,144 monotone flops. Now this video provides just a general overview of FlopzillaPro and GTO Plus's new features. For more detailed information on everything that is new in FlopzillaPro, go to the link that is shown below. More videos will be made available at a later point. However, with everything now being released in beta, I just wanted to offer a quick video to show the progress for now. So for the moment, this is what we have available for you. I hope you enjoy all the new features.